Today we're going to be talking about how to install a P-trap. So we're going to be talking about the P-traps above ground, which are usually found underneath a sink. And there are three pieces to that P-trap. We have the trap adapter, the Weir, and the P-trap. And the purpose of the P-trap is to prevent sewer gases from entering into a building. And each of those pieces are going to be connected together by the joints, and they're going to have a nut and a washer seal, and that seal has a bevel to it. And in that bottom right hand corner and in the big blown up picture, you can see that the bevel needs to go into the pipe, and that is the position that it needs to be in. Otherwise it will not hold. If it's flipped around, you will have leaks, so make sure that it's in that position. Now the Weir is different. The Weir has a bevel on it, and so all you're going to do is simply place the Weir on to the joint, and you will tighten down the nut, and that should hold itself. And you want to make sure that they are nice and snug so you do not have any leaks, and make sure that those seals are in the proper position. So here we have more of those rubber or plastic rings. These blue ones in this situation are rubber, and the one on the left is used for a 1.5-inch pipe, and the one on the right, as you can see, it has a little bit of a reducer that reduces it down to a 1.25-inch pipe. So if you have a 1.25-inch drain poking out of your sink and your drain coming out of the wall is 1.5 inches, you can use this reducer inside of the joint to reduce the pipe down. So just so you're aware that there are two different types, and there's the reducing one, and then there is just the regular standard one. So now we're going to work on installing the P-trap, and here we just have a standard stub out piece from the wall, and we also have the stub down part for the drain, which is the grid strainer, and we're going to work on connecting these two through the P-trap. So before you do anything else, you're going to want to make sure that your P-trap fits in the area, in case you may need to offset your drain, or if you're going to need to cut your drain further back, or if you're going to have to extend the drain out. In this situation, it looks like the P-trap will fit in the area quite well. So we know that we can cut the drain back a little bit further. So here we are cutting off the little piece of the drain as we measured before, and we know that the P-trap will fit perfectly in there. And after we have cut off the drain, we're going to be putting on our escutcheon and our trap adapter. And with the chrome P-traps, they do not come with a trap adapter, so you will need to purchase one separately. But if you buy a regular P-trap that is plastic, it will usually come with the package. So once again, you're going to get some ABS glue and glue on that trap adapter. If it is PVC pipe, then you will attach the PVC trap adapter. And remember to not forget that escutcheon. So after we've put our trap adapter on, we are going to put the P-trap into the drain, and as you can see here, the grid strainer is just barely short of the P-trap. And in this situation, we're not going to have enough space to put an extension piece. So as shown on the right, we are going to take our saw and we're going to cut that grid strainer so that we can fit a drain extension on there, and then that way we can fit all of those pieces together. And now we have cut that extra piece off of the grid strainer, and we're going to be able to fit our extension piece in there. And so you're going to hold your P-trap up, want to make sure that it's fairly level, and you're going to hold the extension piece up to it, and you're going to mark where you need to cut the extension piece so that you're able to fit that piece into that area, and then you will cut that pipe. So now we have our extension piece cut, and we can go ahead and put the P-trap all together. And we want to make sure that our connection rings are in the proper position, that they are facing downward into the drain, and then you are good to tighten down each of those joints. And you can easily just hand tighten each of those connection pieces that are threaded together. But if you don't feel like you're strong enough, go ahead and get a wrench and just give those nuts a quarter turn. You don't want to over tighten them because they can cause a leak. You want to make sure that they are snug but not too tight. So the next step will be to install your lavatory guard cover. Now, not all sinks have these, but just to be aware how to install one of these. This does make the sink look more cleaner, especially if it's going to be exposed. So here we have our LavGuard box that it comes in, and here it is with all the materials taken out, and we have the two covers for the angle stops and then the covers for the P-trap and the P-trap Weir. And there is a set of instructions on the box if you would like to reference that as well. So whenever you're installing the covers for the angle stops, I usually just take my blade and I will cut off the portion that is right above the first nub connector, and I will take that guy off, and then I will peel back the other section all the way to its furthest point. So then that way all there are is just two joint connections, because we don't have a lot of space underneath there. So we're just going to make it as small as possible so that we can connect it very easily. Now, so you are aware, the lav guards are designed to be peeled so that they are able to be customly fitted to each P-trap. So you're going to measure the distance, and you can simply just hold it up to the P-trap and then just peel back until you've hit it to the right point and you've covered it up as much as you'd like to, as well as the P-trap Weir cover, and you're just going to peel those back until they are customly fit to the P-trap. And once you have all that done, you will have it perfectly covered up, and you want to make sure that it looks nice and clean and all of those buttons are pinched together so that it does not come apart. So now you know how to install a P-trap, and here are some examples of what is not good to do. Over here, on the left side, you can see that they have used an ABS and a PVC connection together, and there's nothing horrible about this, but it does not look very professional. It's a cosmetic issue. On the right side, it looks like we have a sealing issue. It looks like they have not even put the seal in properly on that top seal. And as you can see, it's started to leak and it's causing some buildup. And you want to make sure that those seals are properly put in and that they are nice and snug so you do not have any leaks. And although you may have succeeded in putting together the P-trap, you do need to make sure that it does not leak. So you will need to turn on the water, let it run for about 10 to 15 minutes, and make sure that you have absolutely no leaks. If you do, it will cause water damage to your cabinet, and this is not what you want. So make sure that you don't have any leaks before you continue to use it, so then that way you do not run into any issues later. So that is how you properly install a P-trap, and thank you for watching this video.